Hello, my name is Maxine. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Yoga at Home with me. At home is where I began my yoga journey 9 years ago in this very room by following YouTube videos just like yourself with very little experience, but then soon fell in love with yoga and become so passionate about it, I felt compelled to share it. So here I am after doing my yoga teacher training. I am happy and willing and very glad to be sharing it with you. So please join me. I do like to begin on foot. So standing nice and tall, feet together, slightly turned in over with a little gap between the heels. It lines the joints up nicely, or feet hip width apart. We tuck the pelvis under, roll the shoulders softly back and down, so we're standing nice and tall as if there was a thread pulling from the top of our head up to the sky, really finding a nice strong tall posture. Taking a nice deep inhale, raising the arms up to the sky, filling up the lungs, feel the ribcage expand, palms together, exhale into prayer. And we're closing the eyes just to take ourselves inwards, tuning into the breath. Maybe sigh it out if you need to release any stress or tension that you may be holding on to. But then find a natural rhythm in and out through the nose. Just arriving in the here and now, in the present moment. And maybe you'd like to set an intention, whatever that may be personal to you, but what I recommend is just to follow the breath throughout, connecting the mind with the body and our inner being of peace and calm. And then interlocking the fingers, push the palms towards the ground, straightening the arms, inhale up to the sky. Really lengthening up each side, stretching and pushing as high as you can. And then exhale, reaching over to one side, really stretching the top side of the body. Inhale back to center, reaching it up, and exhale over to the opposite side. Again, really stretching and reaching over as far as you can. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, sweep the arms down by our sides, take hands on the hips and step it out, and let's circle the hips around, just warming up the hips from side to side, back and forth. Following the breath, close your eyes if you want to. And then let's step back to the middle and then out to the opposite side and swivel the hips in the opposite direction. And then bringing it back to center. Shoulders back down, inhale up to the sky, palms together, taking a slight back bend. And let's pray. Soften the knees, hinge and fold into ragdoll, just letting the weight of the body pull you down. Relax the head, neck and shoulders, letting go of any stress and tension. Maybe move the head around from side to side, up and down, a yes and a no. Maybe grab the elbows and you might feel you pull the weight of the body down a little deeper, nicely stretching out the lower spine. Nice deep nourishing breath, a gentle sway, maybe little pulses up and down in the center. And then plant the palms, fingers spread wide, stepping it back, or step little steps back, or one big step back into a downward facing dog. Nice strong triangle, aligning the arms with the back, hips to the sky, heels towards the ground. It's fine to soften the knees, to push the hips up, melt the heart down, but activate the shoulders, don't sink. So push the ground away through the palms. Nice deep breath in and out. And bring it down into tabletop. Maybe just have a little move around from side to side, pushing the hips one way, shoulders into the center, the opposite way. Just feeling the way into the body with the breath. And now let's lower the bum to the heels. Maybe if your knees are a little tight, just bring it back and forth and lower it gently down little by little until you are comfortably down as close to as you can. You may put a cushion between the bum and the heels if you are not all of the way there. But remember, wherever you are at is perfect. Stretch the arms out into a child pose, and remember, anytime you need to take a break during a practice, come down into a child pose of your choice. Moments of stillness are more important, or as important, if not more important, as the poses themselves. So the most important thing is just to be present with the breath. So you can relax it here with active arms straight, passive arms falling to the ground, up prayer behind the head. And then let's bring it up into sitting. Inhale up to the sky, palms together, and exhale, reach down one side. Maybe just let the hips slip off the heels as we stretch and hold it over. Really deepening the stretch down the side body. And then inhale back to the sky. Exhale, slightly let the hips fall off and reach over a little further and a little further. And then back to center. Reach down, and this time just let the hips fall to the side, and then straighten out the opposite leg. Maybe reposition the knee slightly just so that you are comfortable. The nice tall straight spine. Inhale and exhale, fold it forward or walk the hands forward to lower yourself down. Again, active or passive arms or prayer behind the head. And then lift it up here and reach back up to the sky. Nice deep inhale, turn and reach behind to use that arm as a prop and take hold of the opposite thigh. And just twist. Nice gentle twist in the spine. Turning the head to look behind, maybe closing the eyes. And then release and let's reach sideways down the leg. First of all, maybe pressing onto the thigh just to help gently stretch out the side, as well as grabbing onto wherever you can get a hold of here, just to pull down sideways. Deepening the stretch as far as you can, and then maybe you can reach over and grab for the foot with the hands, but don't worry if you are just here or here even, that's perfectly fine. All little bits at a time, steps and stages. And then let's release, and as we bring it up, sweep the straight leg across, bend the knee into cow face, and then maybe draw the knee in and hug it in with the opposite arm, reaching behind and taking a gentle twist, using the hand behind as a prop to help us maintain a straight vertical spine. And you may take the arm across also as extra leverage to push on that thigh to twist a little deeper. And then the arm from behind, turn and take it up the centre of the spine. Wiggle it up, walk it up, help it with the other hand if need be. Reach to the sky, bend the elbow, And take the elbow to the sky if you can. If you're not reaching the fingertips, use a belt, a strap or a towel just to throw over and walk the hands to meet. And then let's release and give the shoulders a little massage. Circle them in one direction, then the other, and then roll the head one way, then the other. Just relax and breathe. And then we're going to untie the legs, taking the bottom shin straight in front parallel with the mat, the opposite shin on top, the foot just above the knee on the inside of the thigh. And your knee might feel like it's up there, but that's fine to begin with. You just either lean back, press it down, or lean forward, shift the bum cheeks out the way and just creep it forward here. Resting it down, or maybe little pulses. Nice deep breath, bring it up and untie the legs, bring it forward or swivel it round, finding your way into a tabletop. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, maybe give the hips and the shoulders another little sway as we did before. Take some cat-cows. Inhale, chin up, tailbone up. Exhale, round up the spine and rock it back and forth. And then down and bring it up back to sitting. Arms up to the sky with a nice deep inhale. Exhale, reach over to one side, feeling that stretch down the top side of the body. Several breaths. Inhale back to the sky. Exhale the opposite way. Slip the hips off, reach down and over as far as you can, deepening that stretch up the top side body. Inhale back to center and reach down. This time, lowering the hips to the ground, taking the leg out straight, repositioning that knee to wherever's comfortable for you. Nice deep inhale and lengthen, hinge and fold, or if you prefer to, just creep the hands forward, stretching out the spine. Active passive arms of prayer. Several breaths. And then let's bring it up. Nice deep inhale once again to the sky. Turn and reach behind, using the arm behind as a prop to maintain a vertical spine. Opposite arm to pull and twist. A nice gentle twist in the spine. Several nice breaths. And then let's release, and as we do so, reach down sideways along the straight leg, pushing onto the thigh, just to help gently stretch out the side body here a little further. Maybe just gentle little pulses. So pull on the foot or the ankle, or wherever you can get hold to, or straps are ideal to help us reach here. And then eventually, when you feel you can reach over, several breaths, pulling it in a little closer. And then let's release and bring it up. As we do so, sweep the straight leg across, bend the knee, foot flat, and reach around with the same hand as the knee that's highest, using that arm as a prop. Maybe hug it in here, twist it around, and use the arm across the outside of the thigh. So have a nice deep breath. Really encouraging a nice deep twist. And then the arm from behind, straight and turn. Walk it up the centre of the back, help it up with the other hand if need be. Stretch to the sky, bend the elbows, grab for the fingertips. Don't worry if you're not reaching there quite yet. It's nice relaxing breaths. Just appreciating the moment of stillness. And then release and give the shoulders a little massage. Circle them in one direction, then the other way. And roll the head. One way, then the other. And then let's untie the legs, straightening and bringing that bottom shin parallel with the mat. The front of the mat, then the opposite foot just above the knee on the inner thigh. Again, your knee may feel like it's here, that's perfectly fine. Just you'll find that if you just gently ease it down, it will eventually naturally go. And then also just leaning forward, maybe wriggling the bum cheeks back out of the way and just breathing it down. Creeping the hands forward, resting it down, stretch it out, resting or prayer. Nice deep breaths, little tiny pulses. Nice deep breath, gaze forward and untie the legs, coming back to tabletop. Again, if you feel you want to just give the spine a little massage off in any way which feels good for you. And then make sure the hands are palms planted, figure spread wide underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and let's take out our right leg straight out in line with the body. Nice straight strong leg, hips are square to the ground, point the foot, flex the foot, pushing into the heel, point the foot, inhale, exhale, knee to nose, inhale the knee out and back, and exhale to the nose, pushing the ground away, bring the nose close, and inhale out and back and round as we exhale, knee to nose, inhale out, really out and up and back, and exhale, knee to nose, inhale back and out, exhale, knee to nose, inhale back, out, exhale, knee to nose, last time, inhale and out, exhale, foot to the floor, maybe just a little in front of the hands or as far as is comfortable for you, and using blocks here if you're not reaching the ground, or you could even rest on the thigh as an alternative, just dipping into the hip. Nice deep inhale, exhale, sit it back, and this leg is out on an angle, slowing it down. We don't want to be sat too far back on the heel, we want to be sort of more or less the hip underneath the knee, or just slightly, the bum slightly back from the knee, lengthening it through the spine and lowering it down to wherever you can, maybe it's on blocks. This here is perfectly fine, or lower it down as deep as you can. Nice deep breaths. Bring it a little closer. And then gaze forward, plant the foot and bring it back to tabletop. Just taking some nice relaxing breaths in between before we begin the other side. And then left leg straight out in line with the body, making sure we've got the knees underneath the hips, hands are underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide, point the foot, flex the foot, point the foot. Nice deep inhale, exhale, knee to nose, push the ground away. And inhale, out to the side and back. As we exhale, the knee to the nose. Inhale out, back. Exhale to the nose. One more time. Inhale. Exhale to the nose. Inhale. Exhale to the nose. Nice deep breath in. Exhale to the nose. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. Step it forward. Lift it up. Again, blocks or just resting on the thigh if you prefer to. Just gently pushing into that front hip. Nice deep inhale, and then let's sit it back. And making sure the knees in alignment with the hip. Don't want to be sat too far back. Just to get a nice deep stretch here. So maybe blocks here, or lower it down as far as you can. And then plant the palms, bring that the leg back to neutral tabletop. Well done. And then let's begin to work our way up. So inhale, chin up, tailbone up, tuck the toes under, lift it, sink it back into a nice strong down dog. Maybe take a little pedal, gentle sway, whatever feels good for you. Always remember pushing the ground away from you. And then gaze forward. You can either walk the feet to the hands or bring it up onto the toes, bending the knees back, and just bunny hop, jump to the front, folding it in here, stretching out the backs of the legs a little further, bent knees, chest to thigh, head falls towards the shins. Maybe grab the big toes or the ankles, or hug it in behind the calves. And then let's roll it all the way up, one vertebra at a time. And roll the shoulders back, down, inhale up to the sky. And exhale to prayer. Closing the eyes, just taking a moment to slow the breath down. Just noticing how you feel, any sensations in the body. Maybe you can feel the heartbeat going a little faster. Just taking time to be fully present. Now, as always, checking out the posture and composing ourselves, preparing for our next little sequence. Well done. So those moments of stillness in between, don't forget, are very important. Always have a drink handy, just to keep us rehydrated. And before we begin, check the feet are slightly turned in over, pelvis tucked under, shoulders softly roll back and down, palms together. Deep breath in and out. Arms down by our sides. Inhale up to the sky, palms together, slight back bend. Prayer hinge and fold it down. Inhale halfway back, flat back, hands could be on the shins or the thighs. Bend the knees, hands, and step it back into plank. And then you can lower the knees if need be here, lower it down, then through and up dog, or from plank. Halfway all of the way to the ground, through and up dog, and back to down dog. Nice strong triangle, deep breath in and out. Right leg to the sky, nice and straight and strong. Nice deep breath in on the ball of the left foot. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through, and let's bring it up into a lunge. Deep breath in and lower down. Uncurl the toes, inhale, open the heart. Exhale, sweep it down, sit it back. I really want to take another nice deep stretch at the back of the front leg, lengthening through the spine again, using blocks, soften the knee if need be, and exhale, hinge and fold. So nice deep breath, a little closer, and a little closer. Gaze forward, weight down, frame the front foot, lift it up, rock it into pyramid. I'm going to shift back a little here. So hips are square, back foot flat, 45 degrees, feet on separate tracks. Soften the knee if need be, and lengthen, exhale, hinge and fold. Nice deep breath, deep stretch. Maybe grab the back of the leg, pull it in a little closer. And then let's lift it up halfway and step the feet together. Inhale up to chair. Hold for several breaths. And then inhale up to the right knee to the chest. And then let us bring the palms to prayer. Now, if you can, I'm going to take hold of the big toe, straighten the leg and bring it out to the side. But if you feel you can't do that, your other option is taking the foot on the ankle or the knee and taking the leg wide. So, big toe or the foot, hand on hip or out to the side, straighten it out to whatever degree. Maybe you can take it out straight. You could hold it here or take it out to the side. Focus on that spot, nice deep breath. And then when you are ready, just bring it down, lower it down, give it a little shake out. And then preparing for the other side, well done. So once again, just taking a moment before we begin, composing ourselves. Just appreciating the breath and the moment of stillness. Being fully present. And then arms down in mountain pose. Inhale up to the sky. Slight back bend. Prayer. Fold it in. Inhale halfway, flat back. Bend the knees, hands down, step it back into plank. Unless you can jump back into half plank. through and up dog. And then back to down dog once again. And as we'll be stepping it through, we want high hips, so not too much distance between here, because it's easier for high hips to get the leg through more easily. So nice deep breath in and out. Right leg, left leg straight to the sky. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through. Grab the ankle if you need to help it through. Find your balance feet on separate tracks. Nice deep inhale. Exhale onto the ground. And uncurl the toes. Inhale a little deeper. Exhale, sweep it back. Lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. A little closer. And a little closer. And then let's bring it up. Weight on the front foot, frame it. Lift it up, rock it up into pyramid. And lengthen once again. Back foot 45 degrees, hips are square. Exhale, hinge and fold. Bringing it in a little bit closer. And a little bit closer. Well done. And then let's step it together. Sit it down, inhale to chair. Servo breast, pelvis tucked under. And then let's lift it up as we inhale. Knee to chest. And bring the palms to the heart. So finding your balance, focusing on that spot, deepening the breath. So again, take your hand on the knee or the ankle, hand on the hip, or take it out to the side, or take hold of the big toe, or you may prefer to take hold of the foot on the inside or the out. Maybe begin to straighten the leg. So all steps and stages and wherever you are at is perfectly fine. Lift it out. Just breathe. And don't worry if you're a little wibbly wobbly, that's perfectly fine. Some days will have more balance than others. So well done, just give that a little shake out. Just doing whatever feels good for you. As always, some nice deep conscious breaths. So let's prepare now for our next little sequence. Checking out the feet, posture, breath, arms down in mountain pose. Inhale to the sky, slight back bend, press, soften, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway flat back, bend the knees, hands down, step back into plank or jump back into chaturanga. Through and up dog. Up to down dog. Nice deep breath in and out. Right leg straight on line with the body. Nice deep inhale, exhale, knee to nose, step it through again into a lunge. Find your balance, bring it up, feet on separate tracks. Inhale, exhale. Warrior two. Heel, heel, arch, flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse. Come on the ball of the foot or just keep the heel down flat. Let's take several breaths here. And then back to center. Nice strong arms. Inhale, exhale, fold into the front thigh. So to align the arm with the body, I can hold it here, or and take the hand to the ground, or and half bind, top shoulder back, or also full bind, bring the shoulder down, reaching the arm through, flipping the forearm behind. So holding it here, or then also maybe taking it into Bird of Paradise. And that is a more advanced, difficult one. It just takes a lot of getting there. But well done if you've managed that. But please feel free to just try again. So once again, just taking a moment to compose ourselves, slowing the breath down, and just finding that moment of stillness. Remember just to take a child pose or a down dog. Always just modify or adapt the poses in any way which suit you. Remembering that always steps and stages, so just gradual process, and we're always learning and improving. So practice, patience and perseverance are key. So let us look ready for the opposite side. Arms in mountain pose. Inhale up to the sky. Fold it down. Inhale, flat back. Bend the knees, hands down. Through and up dog. Back to down dog. Left leg straight up in line with the body, pushing the ground away, nice and straight and strong. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose, step it through, find your lunge. Inhale, exhale into warrior two. Strong arms, feet on the same track, heel to heel, heel to arch, flip the front palm, inhale, reverse. Maybe onto the ball of the front foot. On the heel, back to center. Nice deep breath in, exhale, fold into the front thigh, aligning the body with the arm, feeling that lovely stretch. Turn the top side, and reaching to the ground. Try looking at the front fingertips if possible. Then half bind, sweep the hand behind the back to the opposite thigh. And then next step, full bind, so you need to get that shoulder down. If it was your first time for binding, you could bring both hands to the ground to help you lower that shoulder down and more easily get the arm through to flick the forearm up behind, and then reach to grab for the fingertips. And then if you have them, you want to bring the top shoulder back, aligning the body with the leg, and then stepping the back foot forward and bringing it up, just in your own time. Really strong and focused. Whew. It's a hard one. So really well done if you've managed that. Shake it out. Nice deep breaths. Whew. And then let us just compose ourselves once again. Preparing now to take it down onto the floor. So first of all, let's step the feet out 45 degrees into a star, stretching up to the sky, maybe moving the hips around, reaching it up, bring it down into a squat, lift it up and down if need be, wiggle it around. And once again, a moment of stillness, just tuning into the breath, being fully present. And let's sit it down, shaking the legs out, and then just leaning forward, walking the bum cheeks back out of the way. Taking a nice deep inhale, softening the knees, lengthen through the spine, exhale, hinge and fold. Pull it in as close to the chest, to the thighs, the head towards the shins, as close as you can. A little closer. And release. And then from here, let us, I think I might turn sideways. Bring the feet together, so let's take it into a butterfly. Grabbing, interlock the fingers, grabbing the front parts of the feet, bringing the heels in to the centre. Just allow the legs, the knees to flop down, little bounces. Just closing the eyes and breathe. And then let's lengthen. Inhale, round the shoulders and the back down, knee and nose towards the knees, nose towards the knees, nose towards the toes. Pulling it in a little closer and a little closer. Nice deep breath, bringing it up. Reposition the hands and let us use the backs of the elbows and the forearms to push down on the knees. So we're lengthening through the spine, straight spine, leaning forward. And then let's release. We're holding on to either the big toes, so hooking the first two fingers round, or you may prefer to hold the feet, or if you're not able to, you could use the ankles to hold on to. So with a straight spine. Deep breath in and out. And then when you're ready, let's lift it up and find a balance on your bum. Focus on a spot. Tuning into the breath, and then begin to, if you want to, stretch out the legs to whatever degree suits you. Ooh, wobbly on this today. It's a bit of a counterbalance, so we're kind of pulling and pushing at the same time. Focus on the breath. Well done. And then we're going to gently release and lower the legs down. And we'll come onto this side here. And just shifting the bum cheeks back out of the way. So maybe reaching down one leg and into the centre with the opposite arm. It helps shift the flesh behind us. And the opposite side. Reaching sideways and forwards. Maybe try and shift the legs out a little further. You could lift it up from behind. Or just reach from side to side. So from one side to the other, or hold it if you want to prefer to. And then with a nice deep inhale, let's reach over to one side. Stretch sideways down the leg. Don't worry if your arm is, if you're here, perfectly fine. Eventually you'll get lower, a little lower and lower. And then bring it up. Nice deep inhale. And reaching down and over. A strap is ideal here also, or a belt or a towel. And release back to centre. Maybe you can shift the legs out a little wider. And just lifting it, shifting the bum cheeks out the way again. And then little pulses, or just rest it here. Just have a little sway. Stretching it over to one side, looking over the opposite shoulder. And then maybe creep the hands forward, pulses, and maybe reach for the feet just to help lower you down a little closer. Turning the head from one side to the other. And then when you're ready, let's bring it up there. So first of all, bending one knee and bringing the heel towards the centre. And so we'll try the compass now. So, pardon me. You can first of all just, or as an alternative, just continue to reach over down one side here, and then for the compass we want to bring this leg in, and so lifting, taking hold of it, the outside of the foot with the opposite hand. So just find a comfortable spot on your bum here. I prefer to sort of lean over onto this bum cheek. So what we need to do is lift this leg as far over and behind the shoulder as we can, and then eventually straighten it out, reach the arm through straight, and then look up to the sky. There we go. So if you are struggling with that, just stick with reaching down and over the side. That is a variation of, well done, a bit shaky there. So just give the shoulders maybe a little massage out there if you have taking it all of the way. Roll the head. Nice deep breaths. And let's prepare for the other side. So taking that leg out straight, bending the other knee in, just repositioning to where it's comfortable for you. Bring this leg in, and as before, opposite hand on the outside, taking hold under here. I prefer to shift onto the opposite bum cheek as we lift this up, trying to get the shoulder forward and the leg behind the shoulder, lifting the leg up straight, reaching the arm through, and then eventually looking up to the sky. Really having to focus on the breath, especially when you find something really quite strong and strenuous. And then don't forget, the alternative is just reaching down that straight leg and over. Oh, well done. Wherever you are at, remember it's always perfect. So from here, let us just roll it down, one vertebra at a time. And into Shavasana, legs out, feet flop, arms down by the sides, palms facing up over, lift up the chest, tuck the shoulder blades flat beneath. Nice deep breath in, hold it, and a big sigh it out, closing the eyes. Just release, relax, surrender, letting go of the physical body. And now just noticing the lightness of the subtle energy body, flowing freely. Any blocked energy we've had before, it's definitely been released during our practice today. So very well done. Any thoughts or negativity that you're holding on to, just let that melt away as we exhale. And as we inhale, just immerse ourselves with the lightness of the subtle energy body into the center of the forehead, into that nothingness, that emptiness, into the freedom. Just embody the peace and the calm. Just continue here in your Shavasana for as long as you wish to, as it is the most important part of the practice. And just always remembering that our breath is a very powerful tool. If the thoughts keep popping in, just notice the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe in and out through the nose. That stops the thoughts, but they will pop back, so you just have to keep coming back to the breath. And if you do want to prepare to leave, I always end with a moment of gratitude. So let's take our hands over our hearts. Just giving yourself a big thank you for the time that you've taken for yourself in your practice, your body for what it's achieved. And always remembering that yoga is a journey of self-realization with self-acceptance. And wherever we are at is perfect. So thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.